suffering from success. Out in the yard to go, bud. Gotta make room for the race car. Alright, sweetheart, time to wake up. Yep, that's all barn find dust. It's amazing how much a barn can do in 1 year. I'm excited. So, the project on this guy right here is a side exit. I look forward to driving my EG on the track this year. I'm going to get a lot of footage for y'all. But the catch right now is, well, besides, you know, me crashing it, is this exhaust. And that's related to the crash. So if you guys noticed, right there on the intake for my HVAC, it's all taped off. And that's because when I was driving this on the track, I was getting motion sick. Or so I thought, but actually I wasn't. I taped that all off because I thought it was my crankcase breathing by, and it was just getting sucked into the cabin, but I later found out it was actually exhaust fumes, and I was getting carbon monoxide sickness. I'd only get this sickness while driving this car, and I found out it was mainly under heavy acceleration. This muffler here is actually, well, it's not really the muffler's fault, but the exhaust is getting sucked back into the cabin of the vehicle. And, you know, smelling exhaust is normal on basically any old car, but the problem with this car, I found out, is that when I crashed, I tore some holes in the frame here, and that's actually why I got a rag stuff there. And basically what happens is the negative pressure behind the car here creates a swirling effect, and when I'm driving down gravel, I could just see gravel shooting in the car, and with that, it's sucking in exhaust fumes, and then I actually get carbon monoxide poisoning on the track, and that is not fun, because I can only get a few laps in, and then I start feeling really sick and dizzy, and I basically spend all the next 2 sessions lying down until I'm ready to go for the next, and you don't want to go to a track day feeling sick. And what I'm going to do to fix my problem is make a side exit through the side skirt. Now, I wish I ran the bigger side skirts, but when I was building this car back in the day, I thought I'd still be street driving it. Now it's pretty much my dedicated backup car and track rat, so it doesn't see the street as much. But initially I was thinking I was just going to cut a hole here and exit out the side and have it be real cool like that, but I can just feel that the rocker clearance is too close. I probably won't have enough room, so I'll probably just cut it straight from the bottom and down NASCAR style. So that'll be the plan for this. Maybe someday I'll go back to a normal exhaust out the back, but I'm not going to fix this panel this year. It's just not going to happen. So for now, I'm just going to rock her like this. And in terms of exhaust on this has a full Yanaka exhaust system minus some eBay test pipe. But Yanaka 4-to-1 header, Yanaka resonator, Yanaka muffler, and I'm not sponsored by them, but I cannot stress enough, Yanaka is like the only people that can actually make these little B series sound good on a budget. Once you turbo them, they all sound good. But this is NA. And we'll get back to that guy, but I'm waiting on parts for that at the moment, and I got to go to the U-Pole to get some other crud for it. But for now, let's work on the race car, because I got a track day coming up in like 10 days here, so I need to make sure I get this done. She's been sitting all winter too, so I got to make sure, pressure test all the lines, make sure they're still good. Only the finest distilled water, with a little bit of water wetter later. Hey guys, it's the next day. Got the car in the air. Let's see how we gotta route this exhaust here. So I'm looking at it, and the nice thing is it comes perfectly to the left, right towards the side skirt, right here. I realize if it's going towards this guy, that might be a problem, but we'll figure it out regardless. I could go the other way as well, but I really don't want to do that because then it runs under the brake lines and the fuel lines on the driver's side, and I don't want to deal with that getting heated up by the exhaust. So I think we're gonna go for a passenger side exit. Oh, and looking at that, yeah, that clears that rivet or whatever, so we don't gotta worry about that. I think I'm gonna have to cut it flush on the bottom here, kind of like that, and then run it out. And I actually have a tip I'm debating on using that came from my old Z28 Camaro. Time to dig through my horror movie of a barn to find car parts. All right. Oh, I might need that. I don't think it has a flex point. And nope, don't need that. Don't need that. Aha. That looks kind of sassy. Yeah, so this came off of like a 3rd gen Camaro we had for a brief moment of time. Pop this wheel off. Okay. Unbolt that from there. Slide this underneath and get dust everywhere. Nice. We like that. We like that. Oh yeah, I love living on gravel. It's the greatest thing ever. Get off of there, Freeman. To get that reference, you apply for a veteran's discount. Good night, Irene. All right, under the car here. So the thing about this resonator here is these were never really welded up to be that convenient with the exhaust hangers. And as I'm trying to bring this up more to help it clear more inside the actual tunnel of the car, these are just hitting the hangers. So I'm gonna lop these off. These Yanaka resonators are huge, but that's one of the reasons, honestly, they sound good on these cars, is because the resonator really tones down that raspiness. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that up on in there. Then I'm probably going to like weld one of those hangers I cut off and weld a new hanger on here, the frame somewhere. And then we'll actually start working on how we're going to run our exhaust. Somewhere similar in that order. Maybe I'll be able to even use some of the spare exhaust to help run the side exit. Yeah, I wish I had the skirt that sat lower. That way I could actually just run the exhaust through the side without cutting the bottom, because I think that's a cooler, cleaner look, but that's fine. So yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, this is safe. This looks like a job for safety squints. Coming together really well, guys. I can't stress enough, I wish I had a lift, but beggars can't be choosers. So what I'm gonna do now, actually, I was thinking about running it over here and possibly underneath this tow arm, but I gotta change the plans. I think I'm just gonna run it so I have to do less angles, just keep it stupid simple. Right where that bend is, right where it comes around the corner, I'm gonna cut it right there, then just run it straight here out the side. I think it might be the bottom of it might hang just a little bit lower than the side skirt, but that's okay. This doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe I'd like to get new side skirts for this anyways, because when I crashed this a while ago, it got all bent up. It's a track rat, so she's gonna get beat up regardless, but yeah, let's run that little side exit. Maybe when you use a distributor in a box as a tripod, it doesn't really work the best, but let's try that again. Good enough for the girls we date. Let's give that a tack. I gotta make this quick too, because I got a flywheel I gotta drop off to get resurfaced. It cost me 15 bucks more than buying a new one from AutoZone, but I like OEM stuff and supporting local businesses. Plus you get to build your connections. Alright, kind of just doing this blind. Man, I really need a real camera set up because this phone keeps falling over. But anyways, I got her tacked on there. Gonna give her another tack and then we'll call it good. And then we'll just keep building from there. When it's all done, we'll clean it up nice. But you see, this is what I'm talking about. See that gap there? That's just my human error. I need a bandsaw. Well, I need a little bit more pipe than I already had, and I went back in the shop and I found this exhaust pipe here. I think this is from one of my F350s. So I'm gonna hack this piece off of here and then cut it to the proper length later on. Oh, I got my flywheel resurfaced here too between videos. Shout out to Dave's Machine Shop just north of Austin, Minnesota. He actually brought me in the shop and showed me the whole process, so that was awesome. There's one thing I found out about machine shops is they're willing to show you stuff if you show interest, and they're genuinely really nice guys. So learn from people while you can, guys. Learn from people while you can. Mocking it up more. I think I'm going to try and make this little exhaust tip here maybe line up more flush with the bottom of the skirt yet. I'm not sure, but yeah, looking good, looking good. I'll probably polish this eventually too, but for now I just need it to work. Not a big deal. This pipe is like a way thicker wall than those. Like that's like 20 gauge rolled. This is like 18 gauge rolled. I mean, not really, but you get what I mean. Got her all mocked up. Now I gotta cut the side skirt. It sucks, but it has to happen. Everyone drop an F in the chat for the side skirt I'm about to mutilate. And there she is, guys. I just got it tack welded in. It's still not secured yet, so the whole thing will just fall like that. But welded in, I'm liking it. It's not perfect. Definitely got to clean it up a little bit, but at least this way I won't get sick while driving. Awesome. Just putting in the last welds right now. I'm gonna weld it to about right there. It sucked because I had this almost 100% done and then the welds over there broke and I had to restart, but oh well, it's the way it goes. And unfortunately, that messed up the clocking of this tip too, so she's a little kitty wampus, but I only tacked this tip on, so it'll be really easy to just cut it off and re-tack it. I got all my booger weld tacks all tacked on up. Now to take it off and actually make it nice. Alrighty, I got her all welded up. Did a lot of welding behind the scenes because it's kind of boring to watch. Well, let's hear this thing start up for the first time. I forgot, there's one more thing we got to do. Got to change the tune on her. Right now this is just running off my B18 B1 turbo map I have in my ECU, which is in the Integra. Man, this ECU is like a high school cheerleader. It just gets passed around. Anyways, we'll put her right back on in here, like so. Make sure not to mess up any of the teeth. Make sure you also have as much static on your hands as possible when touching these circuit boards. Got her in. Take this guy, drop this on, and we're golden, pony boy. Ah! All that's left is to turn her on. There we go. You know, in the 5 years I've owned this, I still haven't gotten window struts. That's fine. If you guys haven't noticed, I actually flipped the tip the other way around because I thought it looked cooler that way. Well, let's hear her start for the first time. Slightly concerned. It kind of sounds like a VQ, but at least I won't suffer carbon monoxide poisoning this way. Got reckon it's time to wipe some of this barn find dust off of this car, because I mean, that is just from like 6 months of sitting. That's crazy. Well, that's a little better. Let's take her out for a rip before we lose all sunlight though. I want to get a shot for you guys of what this sounds like doing a racer flyby, so let's get to it. Oh, and I grabbed the old skunk 2 shift knob. Had this thing for ages. Well, it looks like the tach's kind of tweaking out, but that's okay. It's just letting you know that it works. Oh, and you can't forget the essentials too. You never know what happens when these things sit for a while. Now, I remember second gear grinds in this, so I'm gonna have to like 1, 3, 4 or start in second or whatever when driving this, but we'll start in second. Yeah, it's a B16 trans, so it'll take second any day. Well, it sounds like a trombone, but you know, at least I'll make the audible shifts more easy to do. Oh, that's just lovely. Daily driver approved. Alright, let's blow out our eardrums. Pops, that's for sure. Man, this poor thing needs a bath bad, but I'll give it a wash tomorrow. See, this is why you don't live on gravel, kids. Just everywhere. But anyways, I noticed the exhaust kind of flexed a little bit. It's rubbing on the skirt back there. I'm not that worried about it. I just probably got to trim it a little bit more. And at idle, it doesn't sound too bad at all. But there we have it, guys. The EG hatch is ready for the track. Just got to button up some wiring on the inside, make it more comfortable. My coolant gauge isn't working, so I got to fix that. But yeah, so that is what the car sounds like. Do I think it sounds better with the muffler? Of course. I really like how the Yanakas sound, but I just couldn't run that, and it was all bent up anyways. So this is a good compromise, and I'm only driving this on the track anyways. And I'll be honest, once you're up at cruising speeds, and it's not really loading the engine, the drone really wasn't any different than it was with the muffler. It's just the initial scream. It's kind of annoying, but as soon as VTEC cracks over, it gets your adrenaline running so you don't care. So yeah, guys, that is a side exit on a Honda Civic. Boom tubes. I know I'm going to start a new trend. I know all the racers are going to be doing this now. So just make sure you give your boy credit, the dirt and pavement exhaust. Nah, jokes aside. Thank you for watching, guys. I got to clean up my shop. It's a disaster now. If you guys do this yourself, I recommend maybe using oval tubing. It'll give you a little bit more ground clearance. I was just working with whatever I had in my shop. That's kind of my motto. I don't like doing that all the time, but sometimes it is. If there's one thing I learned from this is I need a chop saw for cutting exhaust, because none of my cuts were perfect, and I had to bridge weld a lot of the gaps, and that added so much unnecessary time to this. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. You have a good one. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe if this video helped you guys out, or if you just got a kick out of it. Really trying to grow the channel here, and we're getting really close. We're getting up there. Anyways, guys, you have a good one, and thank you.